What's going on YouTube? It is Just My Opinion, and today I will be reviewing Ed Sheeran's No.6 collaborations project. This was a special request by my boy Slim. If anybody wants to see me review something and give me suggestions, please let me know. Comment, subscribe. You can hit me up on any social medias. Now, Ed Sheeran, the London Gingerbread Man. I actually reviewed his first album Plus a while back when the channel first started. It is still one of my more popular reviews, and it is still one of my more praised albums on this channel. I really loved his style, his folk indie pop vibes from that album. Gives a lot of honesty, interesting songs. Now his second album, Multiply, expanded upon the ideas from the first album, but also gave him a little bit more pop sensibility, which I liked that album as well. Then we got Divide, which kind of expanded more on his pop sensibilities and a little bit less on his original sound and style. So now we get the No.6 collaborations project, which it sounds like he's trying to do his best to be DJ Khaled. He's getting all these different artists together. Every single song on here has at least one collaboration on it, hence the title. So the album starts with Beautiful People. This is a standout track of mine on the project. Features Khalid. I really love this song. Really fits Khalid's sound and style. It has kind of this spacey electronic-y pop sound to it. Sounds like something that could have been left over from Free Spirit, in which they both teamed up. They both sound like they have great chemistry, and I think Ed Sheeran really held his own on this song as well. Each got their own verse. They both shared the chorus together. The hook, which is catchy as hell, sounded great. Then the next song we get is South of the Border, which we should be changing his name on this song to Eduardo Sheeran. Not gonna lie, I think this is probably my favorite song on the album. I love the production on it, the nice tropical vibes blending in the tin flute with the acoustic guitars. And it features Camila Cabelo and Cardi B, two artists who I'm not really necessarily fond of, but I think they both sounded great on this song as well. Cardi B talking about Ed Sheeran having jungle fever. I thought Cardi B's verse was actually pretty dope, way she was switching up her flows and everything. Catchy as hell. This is a straight up bop. And then we get Cross Me, which is another standout of mine. This features Chance the Rapper and PNB Rock, but not necessarily PNB Rock. It was a sample that he took from PNB Rock's XXL Freshman freestyle from 2017. I thought that was really cool, the way that he took that sample, a quick little vocal sample, that he turned into this entire song. Production reminded me of something out of Black Panther. I was kind of disappointed with Chance the Rapper's verse on it, not gonna lie. I do love Chance. Sorry Chance, love you. But I think Ed Sheeran is what stood out the most about this song, the way he was able to ride the production, another catchy ass hook. Then we get Take Me Back to London, which features Stormzy, which is one of the biggest grime artists, UK grime artists out right now. And now I'm not a big grime guy, so maybe I'm a little bit out of my element by saying this, but doesn't this sound almost like the most generic and watered down grime music that you could possibly make? I mean, it's, to me, the song is just very boring and lifeless. Even though Skrillex produced it too. Skrillex is my boy, and I just feel like it's just very watered down. Really, the only takeaway I got from this is that he made $500 million from his Divide tour. Like, that is just, if that is true, that is insane money. Then we get Best Part of Me, which is this Ed Sheeran sound and style that I grew to love. This is just a simple ballad, simple guitars and pianos. I like the message of the song as well. Very honest, kind of asking like, this person that he's with, you could be with anybody that you want to be with, and you're with me. How can you love me when I don't love myself? You're there for me through all my hard times and insecurities, which shows that you really care. I like the message. I think it's dope. But there's just something about this song that I don't fully get into the way that I've gotten into previous songs like this by him. A lot of people have been praising Yeba as this great up-and-coming artist. I honestly really don't like the way that she fits in on this song. I don't think that they had the greatest chemistry together necessarily. But I also think too that the production, I think, is what it is for me. Is it sounds a little bit more polished than some of his older works, where this type of music was a little bit more raw. It almost sounds like they were kind of grabbing for this to be the ballad from this album. Like, this is the thinking out loud, the perfect of this album. We then get I Don't Care featuring my boy Bugatti Biebs. Yeah, this one was a clear summer grab, summer anthem song about these two feeling like they don't fit in at the party. They just want to be with their ladies. Complete blasphemous statement. I mean, these two are some of the most beloved figures in music today currently. You're doing an entire collaborative album with all these amazing artists. How can you not fit in? But not gonna lie, I fuck with this song. It's catchy as hell. I think they both had really, really good chemistry together as well. We then get Antisocial, which features Travis Scott, my boy. I think he is easily the best part of this song, even though he's not really doing anything out of the norm on this song. Not really experimenting with his voice and vocal effects or anything like that majorly. It just sounds like normal Travis Scott, which to me kind of sounds almost like a forced Travis Scott feature for this album, just to say I have Travis Scott on this album. Production was just okay. It was a little bit more robotic as opposed to some of Travis Scott's stuff that he's been going over, where it's a little bit more synthetic and psychedelic. And Ed Sheeran, I just don't think fits over this production that well. This has a catchy hook, but not in the sense of like, oh, I want to go back and listen to this. It's kind of like, oh, I want to get this hook out of my head. Then we get Remember the Name, which features Eminem and 50 Cent on the same song together doing verses. This is something that we have not seen in a long time, and yet somehow it falls flat. Very disappointing. Somehow they were able to make this combination very, very uninteresting. The beat kind of sounds Dr. Dre, G-Funk inspired, but produced like the people who make the Kids Bops. I think the best part of the song was 50 Cent because although he's topically going way off topic, I just think he rode the beat very well, and it was nice to hear 50 Cent still be able to do his thing rapping. The hook to me was just awful. We then get the song Feels, which I think the hook of this song is actually the best part of this song. Definitely very catchy. Ed Sheeran sounds good on it. The synth lead is just kind of like these chimey bells. Sounds very tacky. Really don't want to hear Young Thug croaking and dying all over a song. J Hus is on this song. Not really sure what he adds to this song necessarily. During his verse, it kind of transitions from this R&B song to like this dancehall sounding vibe. You then get Put It All On Me. Again, going for a dancey R&B type feel, but it stays true all the way. I love the nice glitzy synths in there. Sounds like you're just like strolling through the city trying to find the love of your life on a Friday night. And I think Ed Sheeran and Ella Mai had very good chemistry with each other on this track. They both sounded really, really good. This one's a straight up bop. Straight up bop. Then we get Nothing on You. I like this song as well. Has a nice spacey, wonky production style to it, which I really, really like. And I think Ed Sheeran sounded great on this one. The hook again was just catchy as hell. All these catchy hooks. The features on this one I was a little bit confused with though. I'm not really sure what they were trying to go with as far as the demographic. One of the features, Paulo Londra, hopefully I pronounced that right, is kind of a Latin artist, whereas Dave is a UK artist. I like Dave's verse a lot, though. I thought he actually sounded really, really good on it, and I liked his flow, liked some of the wordplay that he was using. We then get I Don't Want Your Money, which I like the message of the song is this woman not needing his money, but needing this guy's time as far as in this relationship. It features her, up-and-coming R&B star, but again, somehow this is a disappointing feature on this album. Production wise, it's just very generic sounding, but H.E.R is really only used for the hook of the song. They trade the bridge of the song. She doesn't get her own verse even. She gets like a little outro in which there's also a nice little guitar solo at the end as well, but that's about it. She's barely on this song. I don't really feel her presence that much on this song, and that's a big feature to have on this album to not utilize. We then get 1,000 Nights, which has some nice airy synths in there. It borders between being kind of generic and pretty. The hook is also dope on this one as well. Features Meek Mill and A Boogie with the Hoodie, two artists I would have never thought would have been on an Ed Sheeran song. Meek Mill, killed his verse. It sounded like he got 24 bars as opposed to 16. Talk about a comeback here. Forget Tyga. What about Meek Mill? Meek Mill's had like a comeback past couple years since he's gotten out of jail. And a Boogie with the Hoodie, I knew he was going to sound dope on it, which he did. Surprisingly talking about cheating on his girlfriend with somebody famous. Like, dude, you're getting a feature with Ed Sheeran on his album. And you somehow thought that this was what people wanted to hear and know about yourself. Then we get Way to Break My Heart. This is a standout track of mine on the album. This one features Skrillex, but not like a real feature. This is one of the only songs where it's just really just Ed Sheeran vocally. This is more so just production by Skrillex. This one, though, not necessarily the banger that we're used to by Skrillex. This one is a little bit more melodic and mellow, but then when the drop comes in, it's just gross, but in a good way. And this one is one of Ed Sheeran's more raw moments on the album. It's almost like this song could have been older material, or he could have recorded the vocals before passing this off to Skrillex and then just being like, yo, Skrillex, drop one of those sick-ass remixes that you do. That's kind of what this sounds like, and if that's how they did it, then this was really, really dope, and I really, really like the way that this song came together. And then the album closes on a surprising track, Blow, which is a straight-up just hard rock track. Just sounds like something that could have been straight out of the 90s. Features Chris Stapleton and Bruno Mars, which Bruno Mars also did the production on this one, which I really, really appreciated the fact that this actually sounded like an authentic hard rock song done by non-rock artists. See, a lot of times you get these pop stars, hip-hop stars that are trying to make their songs sound pretty with the times, whatever. No, this sounded like a straight-up time machine back to the ages of hard rock. Everybody on this song fit really, really well, except for Bruno Mars, I think, was sounding a little bit too pretty on his verse, but he gets a pass for the production, and the guitar solo sounded great. A surprising way to end out this album. So in conclusion, although there are some hit or miss moments on this album, in general this is just straight up bops, ready to get streamed, ready to get plays, which is cool, that's fine. I'm just a little bit disappointed though overall, because this isn't the Ed Sheeran that I necessarily grew to know and love. And I have a theory behind this. This is the Taylor Swift theory. Hear me out. When Taylor Swift came onto the scene, she was making a lot of country folk type songs that were all her own. She had her own distinct sound and style, but was able to cross over into the mainstream in such a major way. And just the further along in her career that she has gotten, it just sounds more and more with each release that you could pretty much just plug any female pop star into this production, into these songs, and they could just make it and it would be the exact same thing. Bad Blood, Blank Space, Reputation, even a song like 22, it just sounds like any generic female pop star could have made any of these songs. So it kind of takes away from what made Taylor Swift so great in the first place. That's almost the same feeling I'm getting with Ed Sheeran with a lot of his newer songs and newer releases. But I'm not going to lie though and sit here and say that I did not enjoy this album. I actually think that this album is getting a lot more flack than it really deserves. I think a lot of the songs are actually pretty good, but it just kind of makes me think, hopefully this isn't the direction that Ed Sheeran's going to continue to go with for the rest of his career. And it also kind of makes you think too, if he's making these songs just for the money grabs, the streams, the plays, or if he really authentically enjoys all these artists and really wanted to work with these artists. And it sounds like he did based off of the interview that I saw him do with Charlemagne, something he doesn't do a lot of. So overall, I'm going to give number 6 collaborations a 6 out of 10. Remember, this is just my opinion, and thank you for watching YouTube.